Give me everything, everything you are. Show me your scars. Show me your heart. Give me everything, everything you are. Show me your scars. Show me your heart. Give me everything, everything you are.
And we're back. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nutraisin. We are playing 4 tables of PLO with Omaha at the €10 stakes on runatoncE.eu. Phil Gaffon's new poker site that is doing so many things right. And let's... Ooh, there's a healthy 38 entries in the player pool. This is very nice for a Monday afternoon, almost 5 o'clock Central European time. Things are looking up, certainly. They could only be better if we would finally be able to play PLO 20. But there's plenty of more things to learn, and you know, I don't mind learning them at PLO 10 for the time being. Especially since I'm now, at this point, insanely overrolled for PLO 10. And so, you know, there's no mental stress or anything when you know, a downswing happens, as they do in PLO with Omaha. And so there's 15 entries at PLO 50, 3 at PLO 200, interesting. And in total probably the same amount of number on No Limit Hold'em. First stream of the day, we made a little over 4 buy-ins in profit in 2 hours, so nothing to sneeze at by any means. Right, nothing cooking just yet. Shall be doing some folding for the time being. Oh, we're at the same table with Josh, and we are in a little bit better position. Josh had a €40 stack early. He's very aggressive, likes to bet pot, like post flop. And we made an absolute hero call with a 9-3 on a 4 straight board. Like a 10-7, 10-8, 7-6-5 something board and a deuce in the end. We called it with a 9 and a deuce, and we were good. And you know, of course, I could have looked very stupid hadn't we not been good. But I was spared that fate by, you know, Josh's hand selection and aggression. So I expect some interesting spots to come up soon here on table 1. Looks like he worked his way back up. I have a feeling that the 600 BB that Ricky is sitting there with came from Josh's side of the table. Josh came to play. He's happy. And he doesn't mind losing a pot or two, it seems. As long as the action is good, and we shall oblige. Alright. Pretty standard folds, yep. Nothing exciting just yet. And the same is true for now. This is a fold down here, the Jack 10-10, the 5 in there completely kills the hand, we're out of position. This is a different story, closing the action we would call, now we can't unfortunately. Galen likes his hand. Let's watch. Galen takes it down. Teal Tulips! Sup bro! Welcome back to the channel. Hey man, how's your day going? As you might have already heard, mine is going pretty well. Yesterday went well too, except for the last 90 minutes of the stream where I definitely made some mistakes that I shouldn't have made. But you know, it is PLO. It is sometimes you're tempted to make a play where you know it's no good. But I left all that behind me and try to do better today, and so far it has been working out. We are at an amazing 93 buy-ins in profit on Run It Once ever since they opened almost 4 weeks ago. Those were all fine folds. I'm just double checking if I'm autopiloting anything. This one here on table 2 is questionable, not questionable, but you can argue for a call. The side cards aren't that horribly connected. There's a large gap between the 6 and the 10, but I think it's no big deal either way. We're in the small blind, so the worst position. I don't think it makes much of a difference. So down here on table 4 we flop a gutter, blockers to the straights, having the gutter, and a backdoor flush. I'm gonna bet this just because this is all in all more my board than it is the small blinds board. He's supposed to have a lot of high cards here. Calls. I'm not gonna throw bad money after optimistic money. I'll just check behind. Make a pair of 10s. Every couple of weeks this is gonna be good. If he checks. Not this time. King, queen. Sure about that one from the small blind. Ah, lordy lord. I think a raise fold is okay, there's just so much money in there. But we're not gonna go crazy. Yeah, even if in position we would, even if he raises and we would be in position, we're still gonna fold. Well, actually, heads up. Ooh, all this is moot. And we take it down and got some rake back there. 10 big blinds. And wow, would you look at that. Very nice. Ace, ace, jack 10. Single suited. To the ace rolls off. This is of course, well, that's a flop. Not really sure what adjective is fitting here. Pot size, really? I'm gonna call this once. See what he does. Of course, it's the 10 we don't mind. The 10 being of spades is not nearly as harmless. Just pot size. Then we have to keep an eye on Julio. Con Julio. See if he likes, if he's sticking to these pot size bets. Ooh, and on table 1 we're in a hand against Josh, but he is not the type of guy we want to bluff here. Unless we river the monkey nuts. Which I believe those are. Triple sevens, best kickers. Would have called a check raise there. Against him, not generally. That's a little bit too weak. Quite a bit too weak actually for the under the gun. Bit raised here and we'll let it go. Even though it's he has a wider raising range here when we're on the button. Against the button, I should say. Kind of an interesting board here. This is the pot-sized bet guy here, by the way. Julio. And he takes it a little easier on us. This time I'm still gonna call. Of course my straight draws. Wait. He set and folded. Oh. Don't know what happened there. Maybe the hand-eye coordination has gone bad. Blind versus blind, this is fine. Suitor to the ace. Interesting board with us holding the jack here. Gonna lead out too. Not lead out, but bet. See how he likes it. I'll let you know what happens. Interesting spot here. I'm gonna check behind for now, having no spades. Will I? We took it down on table 4, by the way. Actually, no. Let's get some money in here. We do have a very nice hand, all in all. Top pair, open-ender, backdoor flush. Okay, we're not folding. Now we are. So you can go for a check raise on the flop, that is good to know. Let's put a note on him. Now we have a double gutter here in the bottom pair. That's okay. Yeah, not gonna get up to any shenanigans here, we're just gonna fold it if Bobby decides to bet. The min raise, huh? The min raise by Uber Aggro Dude. I'm tempted, but I think it's a little... Ooh, Bobby bet there with nothing. He hit the 8-7-6-3 on that King 9-9 board. So he's come to play, that Bobby. He's taking a page out of Josh's book here on the table. Of course, all in all, a pretty marginal hand. This double suited, it has some decent connectivity there, a little bit. Not the droids we were looking for. Nah, it's fine. He can have it. He shall have it for now. Bide our time a little longer. Take it down there on table 4. It's a small c-bet. Great hand here. Jack, 10-8, double suited on the button. What's not to like? Even out of position, this I'm calling suited to the ace. Can make some stuff there. Like an open-ender on a rainbow board, that's fine. Button a jack high flush here, the third nuts. Against the pot size, have to lay it down. Only one of our straights would be to the nuts. A sandwich in between these guys. That's okay. We took it down on table 4 on the flush board. So, should any of you have any questions about, run it once, anything else, about any plays I'm making, or even or insights, or what you would do differently, let me know in the chat. Always happy about it. Unfortunately, the dynamic avatars Pegasus is very tight right now, but we just didn't get any hands that we could do anything with. We shall remain patient then. There's definitely plenty of action on Run It Once, and in general, and on our table specifically, I feel too. So no need to rush things. Calling this. Not too excited about having that 3 in there. Let's double suited, we're in position. Unfortunately, nothing exciting happening just yet. A small breather. Plenty of exciting things have happened already. Can't call here. I think that's an okay raise. A hugely great hand, but if you take it down pre, then it's fine. Never mind when that happens. And I don't want to play three-handed. Not necessarily. It's not my cup of tea. I was gonna say if he bets, I would have raised here. No, we can't. Nah. I thought about it, like with the 8 in our hand and all that jazz. This is also too marginal in the small blind. This is this against Bobby, who seems to be very active. It's a beautiful hand. Unfortunately, this is Omaha and we can't use all of these 4 cards, otherwise it would be awesome. Let's raise it up here on the button. Not necessarily looking to play this one multi-way, so raising to ISO is fine. Get 1 fold, which is a good start. And we don't flop too much. Some blockers, the back door. If he does check again, we'll bet it. Yep, and we shall. Cards. I think it was worth a shot now, just give up. I do plenty of bluffing. Yeah, new opportunities to bluff will arise. Yeah, top set, I doubt we could have gotten him out of there even for a pot-sized one. Yeah. What was the run? We were on the button and it's under the gun. Interesting. So it was, I mean, it's... What side cards did he have? I just saw the queens. Queen, jack 3. Hearts and spades. Fair enough. Okay, we got something going on here, definitely. The ace king queen. We get to put more money in before the flop, so let's... By a miracle, we won down here on that, you know, Broadway board card. And I think we definitely will need a miracle to win here. Nothing we can do but check and fold. Which is unfortunate, but it is the way it is, you know. Yep. Against an unknown, I'm just gonna call this. I think this This is generally a call unless you have a very specific reason. She just checked it out in a moment, but I'm fairly certain it is. Wait for the pre-flop to be over. Yep. Not a board we're gonna lose any more money on unless the, you know, the jack now comes off. Well, him checking there is interesting. Tried to bluff him earlier, we shall not do so again. And I would assume he had like a pair of jacks, something like that. Not even that. Jack 10, 6, 7, no? Okay. So note to self is a very loose razor opener. We had the King Queen 9, 7 there, so that was button versus under the gun. King Queen double suited. No, it's perfectly correct. The 9-8 is more often than not a raise there. Against the short stack I'm gonna have to fold this as well. He's supposed to play very tight. I have a very strong suspicion that he is not good at short stacking, because most people that I see on run-at ones are not. Since it's not a site where you can short stack specifically. And I have done that for a while, the short stacking myself. And on the sites I played, I did see a lot of other short stackers. Not all of them, most of them had big holes in their game. I had some too, but mine weren't as big. Okay, I'm checking here. We have a lot of backdoor equity here. This deuce being one of them, giving us the wheel. Let's take this guy for a spin. No hands right now, nothing we can do. Just saw the tail end of that hand here down on table 3. Looked like he called with a very marginal hand. That Luke character. And now that he's rebuying, let's check that out specifically. I think I saw like a king high. King 7, 7, 8, so he had a pair of 8s there on the rainbow board. He was the aggressor until the turn. Interesting. Finally, most of a hand. So Robbie goes out, so we have position on Luke. Nope. Interesting. So we have no blockers at all. We have a gutter, which wouldn't be anywhere near to the nuts. Against this aggression we have to fold, but let's watch. I have a feeling Luke... I don't know, I just think generally speaking he can have all sorts of hands here. There's force. This guy has the... not straight right now, with only a backdoor, so he's... can be aggressive. Let's make a note of that. The reason I'm taking a note on him is what this is because he went over the top and went all in there with the nut straight without any obvious redraws. He had a backdoor flush draw and that was it. And I don't know how well advised it is. We're gonna continue betting here. Turning a pretty decent wrap now on the rainbow board. Oof, saved by the bell. Saved by the bell. Unfortunately our aces on table 4 are not gonna be... Can't take them into battle any further. I'll let you know what happens on table 2. Decided on this bet size. Oh, we get called, neat. Check out what he had, like an ace queen maybe? Of course here we have to fold. What does man have there? That's exactly right, he had ace queen 8-8. Was single suited to the queen in clubs, okay. Another interesting one here. We have a gutter which would be to the nuts. No, we have a double gutter. Let's do some betting if he starts checking behind here. We do block the straight, the Broadway, but I don't think he's gonna fold like the ace 2 pairs. He might fold the queen jack. Let's go for it. Not like we have a lot of showdown value there. Might as well bluff at it. And 2 pair with an ace that he's not folding. I don't think, generally speaking, that was a horrible move to try to get him out there. Closing the action. Yeah, okay. Top and bottom is... I don't think it's gonna cost us any more money. Not on a four-handed hand. Not blocking any hearts. Now this is a slightly different story. I feel fairly confident about my hand, unless somebody made a king 5 now or turned a set, we should be pretty good. We do have a gutter ourselves now, a 7 would make us a straight. I'd be very surprised if anyone would come over the top here, especially the button. I could have played a big hand like this. Oof. So I think we have the nuts here, essentially. No one's gonna show up with a king-queen here, I believe. Unless it's a king-queen that doesn't have any heart in it, maybe. What size can I call? Oof. Saved by the bell there. Good stuff. Good start. Finally some... a flop we didn't need to fold on. I dig it. This can be alright. I'm gonna start betting here. The late position, he can have all sorts of hands, and he has some sort of hand that he decided is not good enough there. That's tough. Like, generally speaking, this is our board in the small blind, a board like that. He hit that pretty hard. So, a hand against Josh, it looks like, unless Bobby comes over the top here. Fair enough. Fair enough, flopping the nuts with a pair, backdoor flush draw, a rainbow board. I'll take it. I think checking here is probably would have done in the I would have done in the past, and I think it's a pretty big mistake. It's Josh, huh? Josh in our earlier session did a lot of the betting for us with very marginal holdings or blockers. So I don't really see myself giving up here. And I think we're good, or we're splitting. Yep. We split. He showed some restraint there, didn't he? What did he raise? He raised King Jack 10-3. Single suited. No, double suited, okay. Okay. So we might have to watch out for Josh. Maybe he toned it down a little. It is possible that he did Josh right himself. Maybe call the priest. Hang on. Let's kick the music up a notch for a while. We can't get any action under tables, we might as well hype ourselves up some other way. Even closing the action and folding this, there's just too large a gap between the 5 and 8 there. And so far today has been going well, up a little bit more than 4 buy-ins. And the 100 buy-in mark on profit is just within reach. I believe we're up 93 currently. In the last 4 weeks, ever since 101's opened. Folding this as well, not through to the ace. One guy left to act behind us. It's not a good spot multi-way. And also even calling that, like on a board like this, for example, when you have the ace kicking 8-8 there, it looks, you have a pretty strong hand on the flop, all in all. Top pair, top kicker, but you're gonna have a tough time making 2 pair, and you know, 1 pair, even with the best of kickers, rarely wins in PLO, especially multi-way at the end. So you want to be careful with these type of hands once they go multi-way. Especially when you're not suited to the ace, I mean. Just saying. Let's watch what happens down there, how it ends. Also note on Joseph say. Oh, he was the one who raised the nut straight, huh? It is Queen Queen 8, okay. Yeah, and suited to the ace, that's a much better hand. Very unfortunate run out for our King King 10-8 here on table 4. I'm gonna... Actually, I'm gonna call this... Because he's the small blind, this is... I mean, just generally speaking, it shouldn't be his board. So there's a good chance it is his board in this case, but... That's... I did have it, he had the king... Oh man, how unfortunate was that? We had the King King 8-10, 10-8, and he had the King King 7-9. Jesus. That was unfortunate. That was his board? What can I say? Yeah, by no means would I call this there often. But he's a pretty loose guy. And I figured this once I'm gonna give it a shot. Not my usual approach there. Queen isn't great, his bet sizing is throwing me off. I'm gonna raise it just because his bet sizing is so weird. He's the guy who bet pot with the nuts earlier. And no redraws. Nice. Definitely raising this. The sleepy dude decided to wake up enough to complete there. Interesting. Nice, take it down. I'm gonna play short-handed on table 3. Let's open up another one. Ooh, PLO 50's grown. 30 entries now. No Limit Hold'em has grown as well. There's like 90 peeps playing No Limit, including 7 entries at No Limit 200. We're a really young side. This is awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Possibly here, if it gets folded to us, we're gonna be in there. And it is, and we are. Oof, tough board. This is so weird. You should. I don't know if you should lead here. Who knows? Nope, can't do it. Not being juded to the sack. Juded to the sack? What the hell? Suited to the jack is what I mean. Jesus. It's a possibility that I'm losing it. One of the button. That's fine. The ace queen 8-6 single suited to the ace. Take it down. That's fair. 1.5 big blinds coming our way. Ooh, the king, queen, jack, double suited. What a nice hand. Let's see if Ralph wakes up. Nope, Ralph prefers to stay asleep. I think if Tony would come over the top, I would just repot it there. His hand is just too nice. Top pair, gutter, backdoor flush. Let's call, see what happens. The pot is still relatively small. So he bets pot. It's not good news. Call this once and see what happens on a turn. I'm not quite prepared to give it up yet. This card might give him some pause. There's a nice card. Nah, I'm not gonna try anything. It's very likely that he's on a spade draw here. Of course, he's gonna bet a lot of his missed straights now as well. But not having an ace in our hand, I don't really see the benefit, the value in looking him up here. Yeah. Kind of a pity with this nicer hand, but what can you do? What can you do? Even the double suited aces lose often enough. So it does look like Josh on table 1 has tightened up. However, this dude, Bobby, seems to be pretty anxious to get money in. We keep an eye on it. Gonna call this. Not a great hand by any means, but it is Josh. Flop an open ender and the backdoor flush. Get aces on table 2. I'll keep you updated if we get action. I wonder if this is worth a bluff. Do have one spade. I'll let you know. First we're gonna raise the aces here. Good enough, they're suited. We might as well. Give Desmond a bad nose. If you can flop any better. Nope, that's 0 for 3 when it comes to aces so far in this session. Get a fold from Josh on table 1, so we take it down. No, we get a decent hand on table 1. Ace, king, queen, 6, triple suited to the ace. I hate to check and give up here, but he was pretty passive. Let's bet it once. Then we're done with it. Yeah. I only bet because he is very passive here. I think he was folding a lot. I don't think we're ever good here, right? Queens. Queen, queen, 8, 10. Double suited. Okay, makes sense. Good for, what's his name? Desmond. It was a blind versus button situation, so I call this all day long. I think this is okay. I'm, again, not gonna try anything. No, I think... Actually, this time I am. We check twice here. Oof. Not really sure what sense that bluff made from his perspective, but apparently it did, so good for me. Even one of the button, I think this is a little bit too much to ask of these queens, a little bit too much work they have to do by themselves. Don't really have any backup in that hand, except for the 10 there. Triple suits don't help either, I think this is fine. On the button it's a different story, of course. There's no 3 peeps sitting out on this table, and the 2 that are playing are asleep. I'm certain we can find a better table. So let's. The extra money in there, let's call it. Of course, not a great hand by any means, so we flop a gutter. Some block. The 9s are decent straight blockers. Let's see if 7 or an 8 rolls off, we're gonna bomb it. Now we have the nut flush draw blocker, which is also kind of alright. I was gonna say, depending on his bet size, we're gonna call, hope for, you know, a river we can bluff on, but this is not gonna be it. A little bit too large, that bet. So down here, we have top pair, backdoor flush, a gutter. No diamonds though, so I'm not gonna even think about leading here. This is a decent card, giving us 2 gutters. And of course the nut flush draw. I don't think he has jack 10 all that often. After checking the flop. Come on, fold Derek. Perfect. It's kind of an interesting one with all the blockers we're holding. Need bets, and we're never folding here just yet. We have a double gutter. A rainbow board. Interesting. Not necessarily a horrible card, we might be good. Unless he has the better kicker. Yeah, nice. What do you have there, Hugo? So he has some blockers going on himself. This is close here, one of the button. Could also be a fold, I think. Make the 5 a 6 and it's a no-brainer. But I think it's alright. All the 3 side cards can make straights with one another. And again, with one dude sitting out here, it's cool. Now we got position. So on this table 2, Hugo had A7-5-4 double suited. Nice hand. He had a 5 and a gutter as well, or... Oh yeah, 2 pair actually. 5s and 4s. We flop a pair and a straight. We know spades ourselves. So if they all check, I think I'm gonna start betting here. Even into 4 people, I think this gets a decent amount of folds. I could be wrong. Often enough I am. Keep you updated. Closing the action here, I decided to call. And I'm gonna lead this, I think. So here people checked. I took it down on table 3 with the lead. But I think I've been going for check raises too often in these spots. And should do more leading. Get a whole bunch of folds here. Nice, do take it down. Awesome. Take it down here as well with the preflop raise. Kind of worrying, this table is kind of losing its appeal, although Josh apparently lost his either all or most of his stack. So might be up to his old tricks again, let's see. So not really any movement so far. Kind of very quiet session the last 60 minutes. Quite a change from the action we usually see. The cards we are more often than not getting. Be one of the few rainbow hands that I would consider playing. JCB back in the channel. Hello, sir. Welcome back. I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest, even closing the action here. Especially if Clark now decides to call. That's when flushes become so important. Or just flush draws. Three-handed, maybe. Sure, let's go for it. Not gonna go crazy post. Flop a top pair. The 10 is a nice blocker. The 10 of it being diamonds is also helpful. Let's see. Actually gonna call this once. Not too happy about it, but let's hope calls folds. Interesting. Very interesting. No good. No, everything completes. Various straights, flushes. I'll let you know what happens. Get a miracle turn here. After I raised it under the gun with this dude sitting out, I believe. So Simon wanted there with yeah, keep on like on table 4, hang on. He bet the turn, with 9973. Double suited, okay, but interesting. So in the end he won with a 9 high flush. We took it down on table 3, which is awesome. And the 100 buy-ins profit are within reach. We are very close. Take another 6-7 buy-ins and we will have reached that goal. Oh, no, never been a goal, but that mark. Of course it helped that a couple of nights ago we had one of the craziest sessions, or at least one of the craziest opponent we've had so far in Run It Once. That we ended up battling for over an hour, got very deep. This dude never folded, he folded a handful of times pre, and otherwise he never called pre, he raised or re-raised. And he sat on a stack, man. In the end he was just a smidgen, just a hair under 150 euros at the PLO 10 table. Which made me go bug-eyed, for sure. And we battled it out with him, we got deep, and in the end we played a 1,250 big blind pot against him. Which, it wasn't a splash pot, it was a splash pot, but it wasn't like one of the huge ones. And if they both check here, I'm not gonna bet. Of course one of them could have queens, kings, and a call. Check behind. I think I'll be good everyone's... Yeah, queens, fair enough. And should you want to check that out, I made a clip of all the hands we played against him. Like a 10-minute clip. And the mayhem and the madness that ensued. Right now it seems the tables are pretty, yeah, tame. Ooh, we got ace, queen, jack here. Maybe things are picking up. Let's watch. Got a very interesting board on table 1. Bottom set, 1 blocker to the nut straight. Of course, no hearts. Board pairing isn't necessarily awesome. Take it down with the aces pre, and this is... I guess most people are a little tired for some reason. It's Monday. I can understand. I'm gonna bet. Try to get some money in the pot. Yeah, the board pairs, and we're gonna be careful. We're gonna keep betting, but if he raises, then we have to go on the tank and probably fold. Hey JCB, ever since I came back from Canada, I live at my parents' place, and he does raise. I'm inclined to let it go. Don't know anything about this dude except that he's tight passive. Yeah, we have to let it go. So yeah, I live with my parents, a dog, like a white shepherd, a white German shepherd basically. And my parents have a cat and I have a cat. I don't know if I can fold this. I can't call, so it's either going all in. Hang on, so there's 8 in there. This other 4, it will be 12. So it's 20, so 33%, something like that, a little under. If she doesn't have to flush, or he, whatever the case may be. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we have to call it. Let's hope she doesn't have jacks, and let's hope she doesn't have to flush. Like aces with hearts would be ideal. That's even better. Ooh. Good for her. Or for him. Look, it's a male name, but a female avatar. That's a pretty gross spot all in all. Very nice hand, and this one I'm gonna raise. Raise folded that. Table 1 where we called with the kings. Now I'm leading when the board is pairing. Could have a 5, but that we'll find out. Ugh, really? Oh, never mind. Oh no, I thought we made a straight there. But there's no 3 on the board. Horrible river. Horrible. Oh well. Maybe as queens. I don't think we'd be that lucky, yeah. Already called with there. I saw ace 9, ace 7, which is not a bad hand, but on that flop, really? Okay, so you had top pair, you had a pair of 9s. Spades and diamonds, huh? That's quite a call. We had him in really bad shape. You were checking with only the gutter and nothing else. Big blind sitting this board pretty hard, very often. A lot of kings, a lot of jacks in his hand. No miracle 10 to save us here. And we'll remain patient. Yep. I treat this as a, I guess if he wasn't in the hand, the limp. The under the gun power limp never stops being entertaining, man. Should you be new to Puddle at Omaha, don't be that guy. Don't power limp under the gun. We flop middle and bottom. Blocking the Broadway by having the ace, of course. Broadway draw, I should say. Against 3 players, we're not gonna bet it, I think. This doesn't make things any easier. There's, of course, there's only one straight that beats us, but there's, 12 cards in the hand against us. But they all check. I don't think anyone would check the Broadway here on the rainbow board, no less. Because if I have aces, I'm not gonna bet this very often. Again, if we get raised, we have to let it go. Can probably zoom in there. Need to check raise, huh? It's interesting, make a note on that. Note taken. Hey, good for him, I mean. Probably won the max. Under the gun, with my under the gun ray open here, I always see bet here. Oh, of course I give up. There's a lot of betting giving up we have to do. I'm gonna try to bluff at this now. Not too big. I'll let you know what happens. We do have the ace queen queen deuce here against the button raise. We take it down on table 1. Nice. Wait, what happened here? I clicked the button. Oh lord. Ugh. This I'm cold calling or raising. Let's call. It's not a mistake to raise this, I think. It's one of those hands that's perfect, and you're not seeing these hands too often, like the perfect. Ooh, nice. The perfectly double-suited rundown. I'm gonna bet it, and I'm gonna bet it big too. Because we're not blocking the the straight draw, basically. Not much anyway. Having no 10, having no jack. If he comes over the top, with the money in there, we can't fold. If he has queens, you know, he takes it down, and that's fair. Unless we quad him. We got quadded 3 times in 45 minutes in the first stream last night. That was pretty entertaining. Yeah, nothing we can do here. He's gonna have us dead, right? But at this point, there's nothing we can do. Oof, rough start. You get to shovel your driveway again. Oh lord. C-betting here is fine. And I like hearing that, yeah. Cool. With the volume levels, especially. And that the music of the stream doesn't suck. Yeah. Doesn't have to be great music as long as it is not annoying. That is good enough. Because of course it has to be royalty free. And so I can't just use Spotify or anything like that. So you flop a gutter to the nuts, backdoor flush blockers. Gonna call you once. So I think for this stream we're down like around 2 buy-ins, but all those spots played themselves, all in all. Not gonna bluff this. There's a decent chance that he does have a 7, actually. Doesn't have the straight. And like a 6-8 type of hand, we block the 8, so I think this is the spot to bluff it. Oh, this looks so nice for a moment. That's 1 queen too many. Yeah, it looked like a perfect spot, but he had them queens. What can you do? Shall not be mad about losing that one. And I'm generally not when I lose in these spots. I do tend to get annoyed when the mistakes are clearly on my side. least a little bit. Not if it's, you know, luck or bad luck, whatever the case may be. And we can't get a break so far with the way we're flopping. I'm trying it now on table 4. So Trevor is supposed to have a lot of aces. I think he trapped earlier. Similar spot. What does my note on Cole say here? Where's the check razor, huh? Gonna have to let this one go. Yep. As a compensation, we have the ace, ace, queen, queen here. Offsuit, but all the good pocket pairs. I think so. That, oh, actually, Derek left table 2. And more 9s, huh? But I think Hugo is wide open on table 2. This guy. But so far the tables have been fairly quiet. And we have Josh at table 1 still, from earlier, but I would take it down there. He seems to have tightened up. So let's see, on this table, table 3, we have 2 sleepy dudes to our right, which is, you know, if we have to have sleepy dudes, then let's have them on our left, I mean, not right. And we have the Derek here with, who's sitting on a stack. And loose aggressive, and loose aggressive up here as well. With the check raising Cole. Let's watch this one. Derek coming over the top here. Curious to see what happens. Okay, fair enough. Can't draw any conclusions from that. In regards to his personal level of craziness. We have a very nice looking hand up here. Double suited ace 8, 6, 5. Flop a pair, flush draw. Actually, I'm gonna c-bet this. I'm not gonna check this. We do take it down. Neat. A small pot coming our way. Button versus blind, like I think most pairs are good to call here. Of course the deuce is not a great component to have in any hand in PLO. But yeah. Button versus blind, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, he's loose aggressive, that Derek dude. Should find out why. I think this is marginal. I think I checked this one out. It should be a fold, actually. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Small blind versus button, huh? Of course, we now have to fold. And here we do get the raise, which is awesome. 30... what was it? Ace 4-4, what was it specifically? Ace 4-4-9? Ace 4-4-3. Gonna c-bet this all day long. After having 3-bet. Yeah, it's a fold. And I am gonna continue my story here, I think. Nice. That one worked. One for us. One for Team Not Raisin. Yeah, I figured that you meant Derek down here. Against Josh, huh? Let's do it on the button. In a splash pot. Of course, if we get raised, we are gonna be out. Not gonna go all in there again. And it's a flop. So I used to bet pot earlier in the earlier session. Quite a lot. With made hands and with blockers. I'll check behind here. If he bets, it's gonna be interesting. I think we're good though. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. He can't just call. So we're starting to get some money back from the 2 binds we lost. It is satisfying to see aces win, all in all. There's a slight twinge in my heart when I see the aces lose against, you know, some random hand. Somebody clicking buttons. But that's the joy of PLO. You can click buttons and you come out ahead for the day. Probably not in the long run. That requires a little more strategy. But that's the beauty of the game. See the story of Derek. The story of Derek. Vern's putting that up in the chat again. Very nice hand. Ace King Jack 3 double suited. We take it down. That's all sorts of alright. I was gonna call this against Carl. I think multi-way. I think multi-way it's a little bit thin, even closing the action. Not entirely sure about it. Should just check. Ace King 9 deuce, huh? Oh hell yeah! That is a fold. So good fold by us. Sleepy Billy, I want to, but I can't raise this. He did get worried, didn't he? And this is our board. This is a board where we're gonna be check raising. I want to get. I don't want to lead. I want to get. I want to get as much money in here as I can. We have the top pair on the rainbow board. We have the perfect wrap. Any card in our hand is, and he obliges. He bets rather big. Not gonna go too crazy here. Thanks, random. Billy is in the tank and he folds. That's unfortunate. He could have called, trying to keep Hugo in there. Now that I think about it, we had such a strong hand. We weren't really afraid of anything happening on the board except maybe the 9 pairing. Wouldn't have been ideal. Yeah, we're gonna have to fold against this bet size. I decided to re-raise him and I think that is fine. That's a fine re-raise against the loose aggro guy. Agreed. Those small hands, people underestimate them. The small pots, I mean. That's where you make or break your win rate in the end, I believe. I think I'm gonna raise this and raise fold at that. Not gonna go crazy with it. I'd like to ISO. Oh, nice. That's even nicer. And here the same story. Although here I'm not gonna fold. And we take it on twice. Very, very nice. As you said, Ren, I'm building up that stack with the small pots. And I cannot wait to be able to download the hands and import them. I'm so curious about my win rate, and although my win rate somebody calculated yesterday, it was like something really insane, like 13 big blinds per 100 hands or something. Like a rough guesstimate, an educated guess, as they say. Which is an awesome expression that I wish we would have in German as well. Of course, that includes 14, possibly 15 binds now from the deposit bonus that we unlocked over the last, what has it been, 180 hours or something crazy. Did he time out twice? Yeah, I think he might be tired or something. He doesn't give off the drunk crazy vibe anymore. He might be tired or distracted, yeah. And he tightened up considerably, so I don't think for now that this is the right shirt for him, actually. Just put him in a regular shirt again. He does have the note. Though this could be misleading. Oh, that was the note that he can call a hot-sized bet on the river after leading all the way himself when we made the nuts. Like 2 pair, and I dig it. Seven block, I'm gonna raise it here. More often than not, I think I'm calling this, but I feel switching gears every once in a while is okay. He is active, but the 5 is just too much out there here. The 5 and the 10 can't work together at all. We'll let this go. This, however, is a slightly different story. The ace is 8-5. Suited and hearts to the ace. Under the gun. Some goodness might happen here. So Hugo didn't go for it there. We have one more loose. Wow, the tight guy. Yeah, we might be up against aces as well here. Let's see. That would suck. Maybe we're lucky and just like double suited kings. Would be awesome. Probably did this a little bit too quickly here. Should have waited a little longer. If he folds, that's fine too. He just called, so he doesn't have aces, and that's awesome. We're bombing. There's no question what we do on this flop. Pot size, SPR is 1. And this is not a horrible flop at all. We block the... We have the 8 blocker. 2 straight draws. Ooh, don't do a toss! Yeah, we got screwed over and then saved. Good stuff, Shazam! First big pot of the session. This was a limp pot, I decided to limp behind, I didn't fancy raising this. Like, make the 8 a 10 and sure, I'll raise it. And it's one of the few times where I'd consider limping. Doesn't happen very often in my game. Shazam, nice. I mean, Bill had a reasonable hand. King, Queen, Jack, Jack, that was suited. You can see the re-raise on the call, yeah, sure. Maybe get raised, and we do have the open-handed straight flush draw, right? At this point, we can't really rely on our flush draw as much. I don't... Just gonna call this. What's the play versus win rate stat? I don't think I'm familiar with this one. And do we want to play for stacks here? With one card to come, that is the question. You would have to assume that our flush is good. And we can't really, we don't really have a base for that. I'm gonna let this go. Because my suspicion is that this guy has a straight and is careful. Or he has at least one of them has a straight and is careful, so at least one of my outs is dead. Or, you know, dirty. Not that. And I'll sleep happier for it. So some stuff's happening down here where I raised the cutoff open. Davis Rin? Get a big bet here, but with the overcards blocking straight draws, I am calling this once. Wait, hang on, what's the note and call say? Use the check raiser. You know what, because of that note, I'm gonna fold it. And also I'm just realizing our flush is not to the ace. But he was check raise four-handed out of position. With presumably the nut straight earlier, and yeah. That's the whole point of taking notes. I mean, Shazam! Making me smile. That was a nice flop. I am gonna bet this with the 9 in my hand, of course. Josh comes over the top, then I have to take it as at face value. And yeah, I think thanks Random. I think that is a contribution to the win rate of. Yeah, I'm gonna check now in position. The 10 is horrible. It's not the best card in the deck by any means. Not gonna fold with the 9 in my hand. Not against Josh. If he has a king, he has the king. If he turned a set. Ooh! Good for him. Good for Josh. Folds! Back at the channel. Welcome back, Folds. You think he went back to his old aggressive ways there? That's possible. We're gonna have to keep an eye on him. See if he's switching it up again. He was pretty mellow. He mellowed out for the last 1.5 hours. I think this is fine. Suited to the ace. Calling this is okay. Yep, against 5-8, yeah. At least in one spot, I think so too. I think the other dude folded, so yeah, agreed. And it also means that, you know, took away an out. And with only one card to come, this bet sizing... Even the call on the flop is slightly questionable. Because we basically had to... We could be certain that we would face a pot-sized bet on almost all turns there. We teach him the poker. We will try. I promise I'll not go in with the Queen 10-10-9 or whatever it was again. I'll do my best. I'll pick up a hand down here. Ace Queen Jack 6. Single suited to the ace on table 3. Let's watch. I don't think Derek is ever gonna fold here, right? Really? Color me surprised, Derek. Gonna c-bet this just because it's not necessarily his board at all in the small blind. Although he is loose aggressive, he could have a wider range of hands, than, you know, the more tighter players here. With the 6 of spades in my hand, I am gonna continue betting, unless he leads out, of course, then I'm done. I think, you know, it's not necessary to be afraid of the flush all the time. Of course, if he calls, we can check behind the river. Now we make 2 pair, which is awesome. There's no straight on the board as far as I can see. There's one, the deuce 3, never mind. When is there ever not a straight on the board in Omaha? We drew out on him, right? Didn't he have 2 pair there? Yeah, he did. He had a pair, and on the turn he had 2 pair. It's good marketing. Good advertisement, I should say. Yep. Let's hope. Let's hope. Just checking this down, you're having no blockers, nothing of relevance. Although it is more my hand, my board actually. Didn't think about that, about like who is in what position. No, I'm gonna bet. Never gonna win this otherwise. Nice. Out of my mind. And no, it's not twisted, you know. If we lose the aces every often enough, and if we get some advertisement value out of them, why not? So let's keep an eye on Josh and how he's behaving. So I'll leave it in 4-table view as much as I can. Of course, I know, especially you, random, you're watching out for the stuff, which I'm not really good at when I'm not, unless I'm in the hand. Yeah, it's certainly good for a race with one dudette sitting out here. Josh raise in position now. Let's play a hand against Josh. Gonna be careful. I'll be able to do much on this board. Against Josh... No, he's not the type of flavor want to bluff at all. Yeah, let's not bluff Josh. I think this is close. I'm leaning actually leaning towards a fold here. Having 3 suits out of position and the 3 deuce. Yeah, that should have been a fold. That should have been a fold. Fair enough, we're not going to lose any more money in this hand. So if Josh raises here, I'm going to re-raise him here. Oh, he had 3 as well? I only saw that he had ace-9, so he had 3 pair basically. You have to check it, unfortunately, but that is part of the game. Not gonna force the issue against Josh. We had a flop decent, or we're gonna be very, very careful. Yeah, I'll stick to that. I was very tempted to try it once here, because maybe it works, seeing that he checked. This is a decent card. A very decent card. This time I think a bluff is advisable against the Josh character here. Thanks, random. We did take it down against Josh, so he isn't unbluffable. To continue, yeah? I like it. So they both check, huh? Really? This time, by the way, I just called you on the button. I always, like, overzealously raised these very nice looking kings. And at least the solver approach would be to just call there. Especially against an under the gun. Actually, let's check it against the cutoff. I'm not sure if I did that earlier. So let's say we are the button versus the cutoff. And we have double suited kings. Ugh, really, why does the board have to be diamonds and us not? We don't have any. Let it go. Okay, some stuff's happening. I checked twice here. Now I have a wrap. A pretty, really good wrap. Even though I don't have any spades, I'm gonna go for it here. Here I'm gonna go for it as well. Leading out right away. And we took it down on table 4. And nice. There are female avatars. I know I've seen some female streamers that have their own avatar female. And this here, Josie, is a female avatar, but I've seen the female avatars with male names as well, so there might be some obfuscation going on there. Which, by the way, is a fun bird. On the button, let's... So anyway, talking about the suited kings. Actually, button versus cutoff they are. With an ace in there, it's a different story, then you always raise them. Got check behind here. Yeah, no reason to bloat the pot. Should check again. Now I'm definitely betting, having the king of hearts in my hand as well. Let's check that again to be certain, like the button versus under the gun, and hand we had the king, queen 10, double suited. Yeah, they're just cards. With an ace in there, some of them are raised folds. Now they both bet. Gonna have to let them go, the kings. Ooh, would have been rough. Okay, on table 1 I decided to raise the button open with the 3 Broadway cards. This is a very nice board for it, flopping top and bottom. Ace blocker, got it to the nuts, and of course all the Broadway blockers. Let me take it down. What happened on here on table 3 then? Somebody bet large and took it down. Fair enough. Got some decent hands here. Table 3. Definitely nice. And table 4. So-so. Not looking to play this multi-way. If we take it down pre, it'll be perfect. Oof. Oof. Let's try to get some money in here. Yeah, we have the top set. We have the flush draw, and there's otherwise a really board that's not really dangerous. This card might cost us some action, or it might bring us some action. He has like an ace king or something. She very well might have in the big blind. Please go for the check raise, sir. Fair enough. Took down a small, medium pot there. You know what? You're probably right. He has similar hand. That can't really call there. Yeah? Hadn't thought that far, like what he could have there. Oh, he left. Josh left. Fair enough, Josh had a long session. Would assume he donated some money, maybe? Before he left. I don't want to come across as mean. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he took a profit. Gosh darn it, you're right! No, you're right, Rendershill. Josie is wearing a hoodie. I'm so bad at this. Yeah, that's not a girl, right? That's a... Whoops. Sorry, Josie. Then you might be right. Like, well, you can't really harass anyone on this site, since you can't chat in the same way that you can chat on other sites. And don't you worry, I have no fashion sense myself at all. So here on table 2 we have the gutter and that's it, and all the blockers in the world. Very unfortunate turn. I guess one bet couldn't have hurt here, actually. It might have been a little too quick of me to just check behind here. Yeah, I'm gonna call, having made a pair, and a straight draw to the nuts. Yeah, check folding seems good. I'll let you know what happens. He checks again now. Okay, let's check once more. This one I think I'm gonna bet if he checks, but now I'm of course folding. He checks behind, and are we good? Does he have an ace-king type of hand? Woo! Good for us. I wonder what he bet with there. The king 8-7-5, diamonds and hearts. Oh, that heart, man. That heart would have made us some money. We had them as well. Nice, we took that pot down. It's good of him that he didn't decide to bluff there. Would have been in a really tough spot ourselves. Turning a nut flush draw on table 4 as well, so I'm not gonna try to take it away now. Should he check again? If he bets, it really depends on the bet sizing, if we're gonna be in there. Yep, don't want to get raised off my flush draw. This is not a horrible card all in all, and I think I'm just gonna check behind, expecting to be good often enough. Really? I'm tempted to re-raise. I'm not gonna, because it doesn't really make any sense what I would be re-raising with here. This is just a strange bet now. Nothing strange about this board from our perspective. This is quite alright. Flop in the second nuts right now. Only thing beating us would be a pocket pair of sixes. Yes, was too small. Maybe that bet. I could have bet bigger. A whole bunch of draws out there. And everybody, wow. This blows. I'm gonna check this, I believe. Yeah. Okay, this is not a bad card. It cuts down on the ace-5s they can have, right? Of course now an ace-6 beats us, but we have a 6 in our hand as well. I think we're gonna be good here. Probably had an ace there, right? Scott. Check it out what he had. Ace 8 4 3. So he had a low end of the straight. He had no spades. That's pretty lucky turn of events and river of events in this case. I I keep that in mind, Random. How does one do that these days? Asking for their Facebook, I guess, right? Of course, then I would need to get a Facebook. So we're building some stacks, little by little. And once more, check out how the day is going. Day isn't going bad. We lost 2 binds early in the session where we couldn't really do anything about it. And now we're... So then we were down... We were up 2 binds for the day, now we're up 3 binds for the day. Life is good and we're up 90. 2 cool binds in total. And if that gets annoying, me saying that every once in a while, do let me know. I'm not usually a braggy guy when it comes to this stuff. I just do it because I think there's some people dropping in and out of the stream, and they might get a kick out of it. I know I do when I watch other poker streamers. I'm always curious, like, how's he doing that day? How's he doing overall? Because that, of course, also has a direct influence as to how much I want to take the streamer at his word when he's talking about his poker hands. You know, if he's losing lifetime, then maybe I would like advice from someone else. But this is me rambling, which I so often do on this channel. That's a little thin here on table 2. The Jack 887 triple suited. This as well. Closing the action here, huh? It's a crappy hand, but we are closing the action. You know, sometimes you get a nice flop for it. Although folding this is, all in all, maybe a tad better. It's not even, it doesn't make a huge difference, I think. Now we have an open end. This is there, but it's not still making me smile. If you have an open ender and a gutter down there on table 3. So for this bet sizing we're not gonna fold. Too many outs. And all of our straights would be to the nuts. For a moment it looked like an 8. Hang on. In a splash pot, calling this on table 4 is fine out of the small blind, I feel. I'll prepare a gutter and of course the backdoor flush draw. Yeah, and their future employers too. Let's call this once. It's fairly loose to call here, all in all. But we're not going to go any crazier than this. But I felt with the backdoor flush draw, half pot size. Why not? So some interesting spots all over the place now. On table 1 I'm not going to bet, having the jack in my hand. here I'm folding in. Here I'm going all in with a top and middle pair. Because he doesn't have that much left behind, and we'll have to play for it. Is what's in the middle already. Here's a pure flush draw right now. Does not get there. Shazam. Shazam. So the stream will go on for another 2 hours, but before it does, I will take a short 5 or 6 minute break in a few minutes. I think it's, generally speaking, plus EV to step away from the game every once in a while. Just for 4 or 5 minutes, go walk through the garden. Have a smoke, in my case. Oof. Some stuff's happening all over the place here, hang on. First of all, down here, I'm fairly certain we have to fold this, even though it looks very nice. We're not gonna flop that great all that often. And up here, I'm just gonna check and raise. Just check. Check called, I mean. Okay. That changes the story a little bit. And again, here on table 4, this is, I believe this is a fold, and I checked up on that. I know it's a fold. It is. I am still surprised, constantly surprised actually, how tight you have to be in the small blind. Even if it's folded to the button and the button opens, it's just that position is gonna screw you over so much. Cool. I do appreciate knowing that a lot. I'm only slowly getting a feel for this whole twitching thing and, you know, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. What should be done is flopping the nuts on table 3. Not gonna well, how big could I raise it? Oh, let's just call in position, that's fine. This is an awesome card. I'd make him 2 pair. Now we're gonna pot it. He's gonna be in an awkward spot because he was at 80 BB at the beginning of the hand. And that's not even my cat, that's my parents' cat. I just know, he usually sleeps in his box under the window. And when he hops down, I know something is up. My cattle is a little bit more insertive. Assertive? Assertive. I guess he also inserts himself into the moment, but that's not what I meant. So there's usually like a soft paw reaching up from the side of the chair, going like... And that's when I know, you know, I should do something. He has me very well trained. Let's erase this. It's probably on the very marginal side all in all. I'm not gonna go crazy post. Take it down. Closing the action here, we're definitely gonna call. Not the droids we're looking for. Yeah, we can have some lunch ourselves today. No dog food for Victor tonight, in case you're a Futurama fan. Ah, we gotta walk with the aces. How bad are we running? Which is, of course, nothing I should ever be saying on this channel, the way things have been going in all regards. When it comes to the poker, when it comes to the twitching. And Cole left too, right? Yeah, he did. Alright, so I'm gonna let the side know that I will take a short break, leaving all the tables in a moment. And I will be back after... Well, first of all, there's gonna be some hands to play. And then it'll be, you know, a 6-minute break at most, I think. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 6 minutes at most. Checking here, having the flush draw, a little bit of a blocker there. He bets and it's fine for Chester, he shall have it. Right, and when I'm back in a few minutes, the stream will go on until, you know, like 120 minutes more, something like that, 100 minutes more. And then I take a dinner break, and then I'm back once more. Wait. Actually, let's call this the splash pot. It's unfortunately that Charles folded there on the turn. Really hoping that Queen made him a nice 2-pair. That would have been ideal. Actually, we have the double gutter and the back door here, right? Right? Yeah. Let's call this. Woo! But bad news, Wasim. And they're gonna arrive in the form of a pot-sized bet, bombing it in a moment. Let's hope he calls with a flush draw. Like a pure flush draw. Be awesome. Very nice river, very nice river. And let's hope we're gonna be smiling once his hand reaches its conclusion. He might have us dead here. Now that he's thinking, I am thinking he does not. Azim. That was a very nice hand, Azim, and I'm almost a little bit sorry that I drew out on you there. Because he had the ace, ace, king 5, he had the hearts, he had the 5. He was thinking to himself, I've never beat her unless this dude has ace 4 and I have the aces, so how can you have an ace there ever? Why would you show up with an ace, with a 6-4? Although on the button it would be possible. But that was nice. Let's see what that puts us at. It puts us at a little more than 4 buy-ins in profit for the day. And 94 in total. Right on. So, thank you for keeping me company. My name is Nutraisin, and I will be back to do some Nutraisin in 6 minutes. Should you choose to stick around, that would be awesome. If not, I assume you have something better to do, which is also fair. See you in a moment. Oh, actually, that was premature. That was premature stream termination there, almost. Oof. Because we do have one more hand to play, right? No, we don't, actually. I think I folded under the gun. One of these guys just left. Or just joined. Okay, back in a few minutes. And back, and thanks for sticking around, that's quite awesome. A healthy 41 entries at PLO 10. Strange enough, almost nobody at PLO 50, I guess they're in their union break. Darn unions. Sure, let's do it. That's the way to go. And we take down the big blind. Cool. Once doesn't seem like much, but you know, it's a big blind. And in those terms, it's pretty huge. Alrighty. Everything arranged, everything aligned. Raising here in position sounds good with this hand. And this sounds even better. One more big blind. Neat. Don't mind if I do. This song is maybe a little bit busy. Take it out of rotation. Shall never be heard again. Never! See if we can make ourselves heard here with the Ace King Queen 10. All the Broadway cards suited to the ace. Quite a nice hand to have on the button. Oof. Rainbow board too, huh? Top 2 pair. Blocking Broadways. Having one ourselves. Taking it down. Yeah, but I think betting there's the way to go. Maybe betting a third is fine too. Heads up. Trying to build a pot. Also a nice hand down here. King Queen 10-8. Double suited. Take it down. People are pretty foldy right now. No. But calling is okay. Rainbow board is a nice start for this hand, having top pair on and gutter to the wheel, of course. Not the greatest card. It does give us a second gut shot. This one would be to the nuts. kind of close. We don't have a heart, but we have the 2 gutters, and 2 pair outs might be good as well, at least some. I wonder. Should try it here. Let's do it. We don't block anything, but it's the only way we're gonna win this hand. It's quite a nice pot. Let's go for it. You could very well have the 9-10. Yeah, good for you. Now wait a moment. Doesn't need to know that we're in this with complete air at this point. It was frisky. And next time the spot comes around I won't. That's how personally I balanced it. Like every once in a while I'll give it a try in like spots where I don't really have blockers. It's different when you bluff with blockers and all that stuff, of course. But every once in a while I think it's okay. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? Going on is that we raise here and we check here. Wow, 4-way the whole table, huh? Fair enough. You do you guys. And we're gonna yape into 3 other guys. Not liking the overpair in form of Jack-Jack all that much. Liking this overpair. The overest of overpairs. The ace, deuce, singer suited. Very nice flop. Very nice flop. Pretty safe. As safe as they can be, and of course we have the clubs. So if somebody comes over the top, we're gonna put it in, I think. With the flush draw, probably could have gotten away with betting a little bit smaller. Fairly marginal hand on table 2. One fold, okay, fair enough. We can't do anything down here, very unfortunate with the extra amount of money. But then again, it's a pretty crappy hand all in all. The queens are nice, the rest, meh. Doesn't change much that 6. We do have a blocker, but I doubt we will see a river. And I'll just check and give up. What happened down here? This dude went over the top with King Jack 10-9. I mean, it's not necessarily a sign of him being completely nuts. If he comes over the top, I think this one I'm gonna raise. Kind of a pity that this is a splashed pot. Do I want to raise this? Gosh darn it! Ugh. I think in the end I was leaning towards a call there, by the way. Because the SPR on the flop would have been horrible. There wouldn't have been any room to maneuver there. Don't flop top pair. Let's play the would have, should have, could have game here, which I don't do as a rule. Would have topped. We would have had top 2 with an 8 blocker. Okay. So he is wide open. Let's give him a purple shirt for now until we know more. Maybe just only, maybe only deserves a blue one. But that was awesome. I don't think he had anything of relevance there, right? He had diamonds on the board. Yeah, there were diamonds. Okay. What do you have exactly? Damn it, he left! We of course would have lost against the set there, but we wouldn't have if we raised. Which as I said, I was leaning towards a call in the end, so all is well in the world. Still, it's a pity that he left. No, maybe he's taking a short break and we'll come back. Be cool. So, quick question to the chat, basically. Would you guys like to have something in the overlay showing how much I'm up for the day, or in total, or whatever? I mean, I don't want to clutter up my overlay too much, but, you know, that would just be a small number somewhere on the side. I think this is pretty close, actually. Not a fist pump call. It feels too nitty to fold it, especially if he flops so well. The 5 as a blocker is nice. We don't have any clubs, so I'm not gonna go crazy yet. Okay, he checked like quickly. Better not give him another free card. Yeah, I'm gonna size up a little. So now a whole bunch of draws came in. Nice. Also nice is getting the ace jack 4 suited to the jack. Okay, at 100 BB now, I'm not gonna call. Okay, T folded, I might have found just a call. Okay, Marco can fold now, alright. If he does, it would be interesting in itself. Something to take note of. Ah. That's friend. That's nice of you. It's been a while, right? In the 10 hours yesterday we didn't have one? I think we'll do one today. Like just from the frequencies that they show up with. Oops. Not pot, not pot. Okay, so this sucks. Obviously, we did pick up a gutter. Let's check it, which is... Okay, now that he... Now I'm confused. Is it king queen, ace queen, king queen? Oh yeah, the aces as well. Fair enough. Okay. That does make... Okay, cool. Whew. Kind of scared there. Calling the top set here, hoping for, you know, a card that's not that one. 55, you're gonna have to let it go. It's pretty cool. As in, you know, obviously it's not cool, but you do what you have to do. It's cool in that sense, no big deal. Not anymore. I used to have much more difficulty with in these spots, but you're just not getting the price. You have like what, 20% or something to make your full house there, if you're not blocking one of your outs. Also on the looser end. But the button is asleep and hopefully this guy folds. He raises and yeah, we can't call the sleepy dude. Let's not disturb his slumber any more than we have to. Ooh, now he woke up. That perked him right up. Winning those, what was it, 5 PB? Cool. But we have been running well with the splashed pots, so all in all, I've been pretty blessed. Definitely got some rake back. Really? Yet another cat? Jesus. Ist ja okay. I mean, of course, he ate like 15 minutes ago. Of course he needs to take another bite. Who am I to deny that? Denying myself here. That is a little bit too loose. The 6 in there is horrible. Ooh, not horrible at all. Ace, King, Jack, 4 double suited. Very nice. Get raised. We're not gonna fold this, I think. Well, 3 base I'm not checking. Put it like that. It's a rainbow board, we have a gutter to the nuts. Not blocking the other straights between the 6 and the 10, but we'll have to take that as it comes. At ace, hang on. So here now I have to check, I bet twice the queens, and I'm pretty certain we're dead here. If we're lucky he checks, we get to see his hand. Yeah, what did Josh have there? What? Oh, yeah, the king jack. Okay, so you had the open ender. He had 3 diamonds. So yeah, okay. This is of course a very neat flop, I don't know. Even the ace of diamonds might come in handy as well. That's 6s. Obviously not great. It hurts a little bit. We have to let it go. Sleep better for it. Couldn't do anything on this board. Maybe a flop bet, maybe. Actually, thinking about it, the flop bet would have been okay. Ooh, this is a board to get money in. Top 2, blocking the straight. Hang on, stuff's happening. And the ace is here as well. I'm checking, and I'm check raising. Not raising, the check raising. He's asleep. See if this wakes him up. And, really? We do have the open ender, we have a pair from the board, blockers. He folds on table 1, by the way. Which maybe I should have just called there. Here I'm gonna call. Nice, no, I'm not folding. If he has the queen jack, he has the queen jack. Or the jack 7, yeah. Fair enough. Take that at face value, as they say. Yeah, I think we'll do a splash. Could be greedy. A 400 BB1 would be enough. I think I've seen around 10, something like that. Maybe a little more, maybe a dozen. But I think I've won 3 or 4 of them. Can't quite recall. Okay, let's try the ambient playlist playthrough twice now. Holding this, by the way, under the gun is the right move. Let's try some genres here from this music app. Ooh, I thought I had raised here. Yeah, let's go with house. It's cooking there. Do make a straight down here, but this is not the board we're gonna want to do anything about it. Feeling we might be good here every once in a while. Here we're calling. Yeah, we have to lay it down. Let's... I'm gonna let it go. The only thing that made me think was that we were in position there. You do have a nice hand on table 1. Ace, Queen, Queen, 9, double suited. Quite nice looking. And we do take it down. Neat. Oh, that's house, really? House has changed since, you know, my days. Turn it down a little. If you say that's house, I believe you. We turn a flush draw here and still have a gutter to the nuts. Table 1. You know what? The pot wise, well, I was gonna say pot wise, we're not getting quite the price, and we're not actually. It's just if you look at it in terms of money, you know, you go like 18 cents. Who gives a crap? But just from the straight up pot odds, it's a different story, and that's what's important, I feel. Because we're not, you know, the blinds are small. We're not playing for huge sums, and those small pots, it matters if they bet 3/4 of the pots, even if it's just you know, 18 cents, as in this case. And bet it here with the open-ended and flush draw, and of course the sevens. Thanks, random. And I, not least by your constant affirmations or confirmations of what I'm doing, I'm starting to take some pleasure in it folding there, to be honest. Like, just a little bit snug in the knowledge that that's probably the move there, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Even though it's sometimes disappointing that you have to fold, you know, your aces with the wheel. I don't know, I'm not saying I dig it, but I take some pleasure. Okay, let's fold this and take a note on him. Didn't want to play for a stack there without a pair from the board. Had I had a pair from the board and an open-ender and a flush draw, it would have been a different story. What's the board there? 8-5-3 deuce. That's a decent hand. I'm gonna come over it. Nope, 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 nope. It's a squeeze. It's a different story if you have already some limpers in there with a capped range, or some callers with a capped range, and you only have to worry about the range of one dude, basically. That is a nice day for it. This one I'm gonna play pretty hard, I think. With the gutter, we have our kings are very often good here unless this dude has the aces, and if he does and he doesn't have the clubs, then we're in we're in really good shape even against the aces. Our gutter would be to the nuts. We have to flush draw. Let's put it in here. Not gonna raise small. I don't want to give like a 5-6 type of hand incentive to be calling here. I think that is the way to go, and I like it. I shall not be mad if we lose it. Don't mind that card at all. It's not snapping. Nice! Nice! That was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Making me smile. Yeah, I don't think this is house either, to be honest. Yeah, I think Tiesto is, yeah. And you know, it's not dated from my perspective, because I stopped buying records 6-7 years ago. Or just, you know, music in general. At least for DJing. Against the small race we can call this. And by the way, this song is not really the song for the stream. It shall never appear again. Certain sample there, the lead sample, which I don't like in techno, trance, house music at all. The Queen of Diamonds, I'm gonna bet this now actually. Really? That's a shame. My brother is gonna be not devastated, but he's not gonna like it. He watched Beverly Hills back in the day, and now if we dug ourselves into this, we're gonna have to go for it. Whew, out of my mind. Not sure how smart that was, to be honest. Luke Perry is dead. He seemed, you know, I didn't watch Beverly Hills, but he was in one or two other things in the last years. Like he made a sort of, I don't know if he made a comeback, but he made appearances. And he seemed like a cool dude, all in all. Nothing against him. But the real news is there that he was 52. Jesus. Time is flying. He's 52, really? Was he like in his late teens when he started acting in Beverly Hills? Must have been, right? Now this is kind of an interesting board here. I don't know. Now it's less interesting and I'm curious. Now, okay, if he calls, then we're done with it. That's cool. Let's watch. I'll switch over for a moment. This is what's happening here on table 3, sorry. Yeah, that's exactly the sample that I'm talking about. That I don't like. He took it down on table 4, we shall never know. 10 pairs, I don't think that's terrible, I don't know. You could have a 10 for sure, but we also get a lot of folds here, I believe. Which we do. Yeah. I don't know, as a squeeze. Actually, let's check that out. Because squeezing, you can squeeze a little bit looser, right? Let's check that out. Let's say we're doing a big blind, squeezing the big blind versus the cutoff, which should be the weakest range regarding the other hands, right? Hang on, let's do that in a moment. This is pretty nice. They all checked, so I'm going to bet it. He would be the lowest likely candidate to come over the top here. I don't think he is gonna. If he does, I will have no idea what to make of it, actually. This ace is so. Yeah, and it was bound. Of course, I was like, how do you know what the song was called? But it's of course in the overlay. I'm gonna continue my story here. If he has aces, he's gonna have a tough time on the river unless the board pairs. I'm gonna go for it here. I think the most likely hand he could be calling with would be the 5-4. Nice. Nice. Yeah, this is more like house, not necessarily. A little bit. Pretty soft on the beat for house, but even whenever I was DJing for quite a long time, like 10 years or something, mostly for my own pleasure, some gigs here and there. But point of the story is for the whole time when people asked me what I mix, I could say trance, which wasn't really the right word for it. I never knew. Like all the music genres, like dubstep and minimal and beats me what they're supposed to represent those names in a lot of cases. Of course, not in all of them, but right. So let's check out single suited kings in the big blind cutoff squeeze, where we could at max be squeezing. What is it? The cutoff, the button, and the small blind. So 3 people max. Let's check that out. Oops, that was the wrong button. Ooh, nope. So let's see. A lot of them are squeezes in that case. That is also very interesting. Like the ace. That is so weird with an ace, king. It's a wait. Oh no, it's a call. Okay, I thought it was like a raise. Like what? This is not horrible to continue on. So like with all the aces, there would be squeezes. Queen, queen jack, queen 10, queen 9 sort of hands. Would be a squeeze fold, by the way, not squeeze call. And then hands like jacks, jack 10, jack 9, jack 8, jack 7. Even 10-9 to 10-6. Jack 9 to jack 6. Even king 7-6 single suited. 7-5, 6-4 even. Would be a squeeze fold. And the weaker ones would just be calls, like, you know, king 5-4. Interesting stuff. So basically, to break it down a little, or to summarize a little, with all the aces, It's the queens until the 9, jacks until the 7, 10s until the 6. So all the high cards, the higher cards up to the 7, where the other cards, the fourth card could make you a straight still. Talking about straights, this is good timing. It is very young, yeah. It's a pity. Not folding here. Doesn't do this with the 6-8, I believe. I think we have the same hand. Or just as a blocker. Fair enough. Yep. Most of the same hand. I was a tad better. Maybe he thinks twice about betting us with the speed we called on this board. With the not low straight, so to say. Oof, there's more of that sample that I don't like. Again, you shall never be heard again in a box. The good thing is I'll do this once, and then for all times this app will remember. No, I'm folding these. These are completely offsuit, but we do have the jacks, and that's cool. As a backup, king, king, jack, jack. We take it down, which is awesome. Not that many great flops for the offsuit king, king, jack, jack by after all. Gonna call here. Nice double suited ace 10, 5-3. It might actually be let's check that. I have a feeling this might be a raise there, or a squeeze rather. Yeah, that's house. That's house. That I can see. Ace 10, 5-3. No, just a call. I mean, it assumes the cutoff range, but I don't think that changes that much between cutoff and button there. I think they're pretty interchangeable and when it comes to these charts. So 1 more hour of stream, then I'll take my dinner break. See, we are building up some small stacks. Oh, I thought I had clicked a button here. I have a feeling the buttons sometimes don't register when you click on them. Almost a nice board for our hand in regards to the flush draw, but only almost. Just almost. I'm gonna fold this. I think it was pretty thin to begin with. Fold this as well. We just checked it out too. This button king 7-7-6 triple suited. This I can call. No, dude, this is not the song either. Looks like house is tricky. This doesn't sound promising either. Let's give it a shot. Right, so button. I have a feeling this is a fold. The king 7-7-6 triple suited. It's not? It's a raise call, color me surprised. I guess it's because of the button blind dynamic. You're supposed to raise very wide and then you can 3-bet your wider in the blinds. Not necessarily the small blind though. At least not as wide as in the big blind. Okay, make a note of that. Note made. Let's check the tally. tally for the day. We're still up just a hair on the 4 binds for the day, and in total 93 for the last in the last 4 weeks. Cool. So all in all, when it comes to the action, this stream has been on the tamer side. Like in the 180 hours I've streamed in the last 4 weeks, there weren't that many where action has been this mellow. Not complaining at all. Just pointing it out. Not bitter. Just saying. Okay, we get in a hand here on table 1. A754, beautifully double suited, and we can also call here on table 3. See what happens. Gets folded to us on the button up here. Cool. And we got a flop down here. Up toughest of pairs. Oh, not just pair actually. Wow, and we got flops all over the place. This is gonna be interesting. Going back to the 4 table. Calling here, see what happens on our turn. This is a horrible turn. In terms of color. Of a suit, I should say. And this one I'm gonna... If I can, I get my money in here. This is awesome. We have the pair, we have the open ender. We guts it all. Now we guts it even more, even aller. He bets here now on the jack, so we have to let it go. And this is... I'm not just gonna call, actually. If he has 6s, he has 6s, or if he has 6-5, he has 6-5. Actually, this is horrible, because we have the nut flush, so he can't be doing this with the nut flush himself. I'm not folding, I mean, that much is for certain. Let's go for it. It's really thin. Oh, we split it, okay. Yet more catitude. Yeah. Ooh, not enough food. Well, that's a reason to keep popping into the room. I'll take care of that presently. I'll be back in a jiffy. So, we're gonna lead here. I don't see him having too many 10-8s there. There's a 3 better. There's some, but you know, then we have a whole bunch of outs against it. Didn't want to go. I didn't want to go check there, because I think if he has like the overpair, he would very likely check. Right, and that's exactly what I had, I believe. What he had, I believe, or an Ace King Queen type of hand. Also possible. You know what? I will post it in their Discord. Not sure if anyone else reported it. Probably, but it can never hurt. Okay, top pair, blockers, backdoor flush. Good start. With that size too. For us at least, so far. No. Hide and never play again. Not gonna fold here if he bets again, I think. Of course we're not blocking any of the straights, but I'm just feeling he doesn't have it. I can't really put it into words why. Shazam. The Shazam! What the deuce? Like the Jingle... What the hell? The Jingle Bells house mixer. Okay, hang on. Things are happening. This is what's going on down here. Here we know of an open-ended straight flush draw. Let's punish the nut flush, shall we? Let's get there. Oof! Oof! Unfortunately, he doesn't have the nut flush draw. Let's just bet small so we can show it to him. Here, yeah, he folds. This is such a strange bet size. Again, love hearing that random. Thanks. Now the bet sizing is throwing me off. Of course, he could have kings or queens, but I think it's more likely he has a flush. Whew. That bet sizing, man. That was your downfall there. Of course, hindsight is 20/20. He could have had it and just bet small to induce or get a call. Alberto, let me check out that hand just so of course, there's some horrible boards for our card. No, this one isn't too horrible. This one isn't great. This music is Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna try anything. I would have to hope for diamond and all the jazz. Hope that the bluff gets through. Nope, just fold it straight up. We're very standard here. I'm gonna bet it now after both check. Could have the bet's hand and also this is sort of a bluff there. He calls. Guess that makes sense. He could very well have a jack here, hoping for the initial raiser to bet again. I think we're good, unless he made a straight. He had a jack and he checked it too. He had a jack 6-6 in the big blind, jack 6-6 deuce. Yep, yes please. Not the droids we're looking for. I'm a doorman today. It's a little bit too weak. Make it a 5-4, sure, we're in business. Same is true here, the 5 and the 10 don't work together. And in this type of hand they really need to. When it's single suited and all that jazz. Gapped. This is an interesting one. I think I can squeeze this. And I think I shall too. So let's. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I was tempted to pot it here, and I don't think it would be horrible. Because the thing is, if they bet... No, we didn't, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we did not. So the thing here is that I have a tough time folding here. Well, I have still quite a lot of... before I get despair... Okay, now it's easy. Whew. Good thing this dude went over the top, or even just calling would have been enough. That was very interesting. Very interesting. So let's dive into that. So first of all, we have Kenneth there who decided to bet pot. He had a 7, 8, 9, 10, so he had a gutter and a flush draw. Not a great flush draw, it should be noted. Then we have Alan, who came over the top with 2 pair and kings, and 1 king of hearts, so a little bit of a blocker. Wow. So Kenneth here is wide open. And here we bet. Okay, I'm switching back to here because we need to see this. If I took it down on table 2, by the way, with the bet there. So I'm not really sure what to do with Alan here. He's apparently asleep, but... Given not very optimistic and active post, or aggressive post, not necessarily active. Just gonna call here. It's nice to get to see another card. Make it a diamond, that's pretty neat. Yep, sounds good to me. This is not the board he's liking, right? Now it's the board I'm liking. I really doubt that we're behind here. That's one of the spots where I wish I wouldn't be in position, so I could check and maybe have him bluff. Because I couldn't really see with what he could be calling here that we beat, but I had a feeling we wouldn't be beat. And Shazam, by the way, like mini Shazam. Check out what he had. This might be a good table down here. You have a queen high flush then? We had aces. I mean, that much. You could assume. Even though we had one ace covered, but with the 3-bet and the check on the flop on this board. So he had 3 spades and 1 heart, and he had a 7 in there. So he blocked the board a little, but I still don't get why he called the turn. And I really don't get why he called the river. And amongst all the confusion, I'm of course happy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Still, that was weird. Getting the green shirt, I can't do it here, not being suited to the ace. I have to let it go, especially on this table where people are very careless with their chips. We want to be a little bit stronger. Yeah, right? And like a gutter and the what was it, 9 high flush? I mean, Jesus. And Alan came on the top with 2 pair? And he could be dead. Or dead to a king, like if this guy has jacks and even just jacks, not even jacks and hearts, then yeah, you're right, you're right. And I appreciate Alan coming over the top there, so I didn't need to make a tough decision, but in the end I figured it was a nice pot, but I still had 9 euros behind. I still had 100 BB behind. But if had he folded, then oof, I honestly don't know what I would have done if I would have. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. What happened here? What was 10-5-4? Oh yeah, Kenneth is open. The store of Kenneth is in business. And we shall be buying. We had a king with a king of hearts at a 2 pair, but really? I was surprised. I would have. I guess I'm so perplexed because I wouldn't have done either of those things. This is not to say that one of them was the right move. I mean, the gutter and the flush draw isn't horrible there from Kenneth, but in 2 people, it's a medium flush draw. Oh well. I'll concentrate on the here now, and here. I'm gonna check it down here, and we have a hand against Kenneth. I'm gonna re-raise this one actually. Let's hope he's not a 4-better. This is a nice spot down here as well. Okay, so I'm gonna check this, but if he bets, I'm never folding, no matter the bet size there. This board got worse and worse, but if he didn't raise on the turn on the rainbow board, I feel confident in betting. Wow! Sorry, here. This was the reason for my vow. He folded on table 2. And again, we have an open-ended straight flush draw on top of it. Not particularly in love with the spade, but then again, it is backdoor. Let's find out how bluffy he is, if he is bluffy at all. No, never folding. Curious if I should raise, but I think this is a bit too optimistic. Let's hope we're not behind. Good thing we went for this line, all in all. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not betting. Very unfortunate. Guess we sort of lost the minimum there on the river. Interesting bet size. Also something to keep in mind by did you bet, what was it, a little less than half? Was it half exactly? 261, pot was... I see that. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 261. 2 Oh, it doesn't show. I would have to add up. I think it was around half. Might have been exactly half, actually. Well, good for Kenneth. Took one down there. Not betting twice here. I'm not that afraid of the flush. Gonna bet my straight. But you know what happens. He folds. Cool. Yeah. I'm glad that they don't, because if I wouldn't, then it means that I'm... Ooh! Marshall is back. The pink shirt is back. Yeah, back. I have nothing to add. That's perfectly said. I think GTO is way overrated. I'm sure, and I have no personal experience with that, obviously. It's a completely different story if you're playing PLO 500 and upwards online. And you're battling it out with Rex, you know, who are really incentivized to put in a lot of stunning time. And all that jazz, then it's probably a whole different story. So Marshall's already gritting his teeth here. But I think these are still the old stats. So he went for a walk and he came back to the same table. This is awesome. Might have to postpone that break. Also pretty nice. Hang on, here I'm gonna call with very marginal kings, but they are kings, and we are in a hand with Marshall. Oof! Oof! What a board! I'm leading this one actually. Took it down on table 1. Please don't fold, guys. Please don't fold. Flat a little bit bigger. A little bit, like around 60, 68, something like that. 65, 70. This looks very suspicious. Not worried about a straight here from the big blind. Not much anyway. You know what? Our hand was so strong. Even though we have a deuce in our hand. Maybe check calling. Checking, of course, praying someone bets. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Also good to me is the complete wrap on a rainbow board. We don't have a pair, but I think. What do I think? Let's wait. Let's see what if Chester does anything. Like, would I check raise? Would I call? Don't know. Doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, I like that line, random. This is about being sane. We have aces on the Kenneth table. I'm gonna bluff this one, by the way, now. I'm gonna keep up my story on the river. We take it down on table 2, and very nice. Convinced we would. Oof, the dream. Clint has a hand. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh yeah, I think so too. Marshall came back and we are happy. And you know, dinner might have to wait. I'm not leaving Marshall at the Kenneth table, I think. Perfect. And they're up against kings. This is awesome. You are not good, sir. And those were rainbow kings. Wow. Shazam. Clint is a little bit too aggressive for his own good. And we get another shot at maybe repeating this trick. So things are picking up in the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing well. We are very close to being up 100 binds in profit. For the day we are up almost 5 binds. This board might help in that regard. Hey, Frenchie87! This is very much appreciated, thank you. Makes me smile. Getting half sounds good. Yeah, awesome. No, yeah, that's perfect. In so many ways. Okay, if you bet this, he's gonna have 5 left. Let's bet a little smaller. Actually, no, let's bet a little bit bigger, so it's an easier call down for him. Like, I only have this much behind. This is, of course, perfection, and he can have some jacks there as for sure. So we wait there, and we get more good news down here. Check calling, yeah, I love that. I love it, random. And I think you wrote that before I came around to that conclusion myself. Get called, he does have that jack. I knew it. I knew he had a jack. I knew he had a like a Broadway sort of and a jack there. Just potting it here. Nice. Okay, make that almost 7 binds up. Yeah, I dig it. And we just had a Frenchie. What I was thinking is we just had that board crushed so much. Of course, there could be an ace-high flush draw out there, but you know. But just generally speaking, we had the 4 as a blocker to the straight. There it was a king-6 deuce board, I believe. And the APS is the metric of this channel for aces per song, because we had some really busy moments when we just kept getting ace after ace. Actually, we're gonna make a bot comment for that. I'm gonna make a bot for that random and a Frenchie in the break. And random came up with it. It's not. It wasn't my doing. Even better aces, yeah. Lordy lord. That's some busy few minutes there. Actually, I might have made a mistake there with my math, as I sometimes do when it comes to the cashier, and sometimes on the poker table as well, but I think we're up. Yeah, we are up almost 6 binds. That's the truth right there. Let's see what it means in total. If we do the flush. Oh man. Just reliving the moment. No problemo, not. Yep. That was sweet. That was very sweet. I think we lost one blue shirt. We lost the blue shirt on table 3. So our focus is now going to be on Marshall on table 4. And of course Ross here on table 3, who came over the top with a completely offsuit King 10-8, I believe. It's just... I can remove the timer, by the way, for the Shazam. Oh yeah! He's gonna have to eat like Pop-Tarts or something today. Is it APS3? I don't think we had a 3 there yet, did we? Thanks! It made up for a lot of the, you know, dry spells in between in the stream, which has been going on for 3 hours and 20 minutes. And as you can see by my schedule underneath the stream, I stream every day. I stream, like, unless something comes up, but generally speaking, I stream every day for now. At some point I will take a break here and there. And I stream long hours. I stream 8-10 hours every day. So should you like anything about the stream, then by all means, come back and keep me company. Okay, so let me take, what's the total since we started run at once? Let's check it out. Upper gutter, not much else here on table 3. I need to fold this. $95 buy-ins since we started on Run It Once a little under 4 weeks ago. Of course, this includes around 15 buy-ins from the no deposit bonus that needs to be set. But I am happy. But the song is kind of annoying. Closing the action here, we shall. It's not a great hand, but not a horrible board for it. Oh, let's call. Half-sized bet is perfect. This is an interesting one with us holding the sig there. And big blind. Let's bet it actually. Because he might not like the board now. So what's he gonna be calling with here? An ace king, something with a 5 in there maybe? It's possible. I'll check it. I think people tend to get sticky here even with a king queen now. Yeah, I think this is a bluff I give up on. Usually I follow through on the river, and of course now I am hardly ever good here. But I felt better giving up here. Find a Shazam, remove the timer there. There you go. Right. Okay, I think this is really close. This one I don't remember if this should be called. Let's call it and check it out on the side. So it's a Queen Jack 10-7 now. You're certain the Queen Jack 10-9 is a call? Actually, I'm certain. Ooh, I'm not sure if this is helpful. Making 2 pair here. You have a Jack. Actually, let's go for it. He's still on the button. He can have a whole range of hands here. So small blind versus button once more. Queen Jack 10-7 now. It's not. As I said, the 10-9 is it's actually a raise call. That's very interesting, okay. But that one should have been a fold. But what's done is done, and we did take it down. That's a very nice hand. Wait, did I min back? Oh, I re-raised. Okay, that wasn't quite the intention there, but fair enough. It's not horrible. We can call and all that. Wasn't quite what I had in mind. I didn't notice that he had raised. Okay, here he called again. This was to do to... This time I'm gonna follow through here. This was to do to we had to give up against earlier. I'll let you know what happens. Here we're gonna have to check, since there's a 3 in there. And he's deep. We take it down against on table 2. This is awesome. Now we're gonna pot it, and if he bets, we're gonna come over the top. Actually, I don't know about the over the top thing. Like, if he bets, don't just call. Because we're either splitting, or he still have a whole bunch of out. He still has a whole bunch of outs. And if I get raised here, depends on who's doing the raising. Rick, I'm calling with what he has behind. Alan, I have to fold and assume he has slow played a set. Nice. Okay, let me check it out on table 4 with Phil, huh?
From home, no place to go, but I don't feel cold. I've been so blind, just lost my mind.
Closing the action, I'm gonna call this. The fine had to do it with. Not a fine flop, however. Pair the king, okay, cool. That's... Got a king in there, huh? You say... Let's win this one, maybe? No. I'll find it, I'll find it. This one, yeah, this one I'm raising against Alan here. It's all the Broadway cards. No, yeah, you're right. It doesn't suck. It's not a horrible one. We can call a re-raise and all that jazz. For this bet sizing, I'm gonna call once with the backdoor. That's an interesting one. Closing the action, I'm gonna call this. Now it's getting to be a big pot. Of course, now I'm done. An interesting turn here, actually. I don't need to bet it if it gets checked to me. I mean, what happens here? I take it down versus Alan. He just bet air or whatever. Check behind. This is not the droid we're looking for in this case. I'm gonna the unthinkable. I'm gonna do the unthinkable, I should say. I'm gonna open a limp here and then fold. Unless everybody on the table now calls, or like most of them, then I'm gonna fold. And if they do, I shall not be very happy if I call and I flop a set of deuces. Nope, nope, nope. Nor all of that. That was a good conversation. Who's random show? Just some random show. Short and to the point. Let's check this here. We have a gutter and a backdoor flush. Nothing to get too excited about. Now we have an open ender on a 3-heart board, not holding any hearts. I have to let it go. Not gonna get fancy for a small pot there. I unfortunately... Aww. I don't believe that. I don't know much at all. Not after you told me after the tumbleweed thing. And you said a sage and it's like a relative of the this and that plant. Oh, but that's making me smile. Okay, so the action players have left. And I think that is fine. We're gonna go into the break soon. And I'm gonna go on like a little less than 90-minute break. Eat some dinner, walk the dog a little later. And shall conclude the break with more tea and then start the next stream. We are up. Almost 6 buy-ins. Like 5 point... a little more than 5.5. 5.6 buy-ins, something like that. Oh, don't answer that random shit, I'm gonna blush. Because you're always so nice when you say things like these. I'm just realizing now that you're not gonna hear this in time. That's... We do get a hand here on table 1. What? The other one? One that comes after 1, i.e. 2. I swear I can do basic math. If I take my shoes off, I can count to 20. Well, 19, but that was, you know, related to an accident. Oh, I'm kidding. So we flop the top and the bottom pair here. Backdoor flush draw, blocking the Broadway a little. I'm still gonna check on position, I feel. For a tiny pot, I mean betting isn't horrible at all. Really? I'm gonna call this. I'm slightly suspicious of what's going on here. Yeah, I'm just gonna call this down. I'm not a believer. Fair enough. So if we were to stay on this table, I would take a note, but since we're not, I won't. The hamster man! The hamster man is back in the channel as well. Welcome back, sir. You catch me at the tail end though. I'm gonna head off into a break for less than 90 minutes. Like in minutes, like 75, 1.25 hours, something like that. We get ace ace king king by the way on table 1. Take it down there. Right, I'll find someone to host in the meantime. Spread the love around a little. Ooh yeah, 6 buy-ins and the total results. That's not true, I had 111 buy-in downswing. Yesterday I lost quite a lot of my profits when I started playing stupid. Played just straightforward, I have to admit it's and but I had 11 buy-ins was the worst one. And then I think I had 3 losing days since when it once opened, which is... Why do you think I don't shave? It's hiding that a little. Oh man, I think I am actually a little. An interesting turn here. Honestly, I wouldn't know. I think it is decent. This is pretty awesome here. Take it down. Yeah, if I hadn't spazzed out yesterday, we would be over 100 actually. But that was I have no one to blame but myself. Actually, his host Trentosk, he's cool. Let's see what he's doing. He's playing poker. He's a very cool guy. And he plays PLO 50, I believe, and he's a very good chess player from what I understand. That was a sweet hand. This is a pretty sweet turn. I'm gonna... I am gonna get a little bit frisky here and call. If somebody comes over the top, of course I'm gone. This is not helpful at all. Gonna have to let it go. This one... No takers, yeah. Very disappointing. So now we have a double gutter and a flush draw. Not gonna do anything. Of course not, I mean. Oh, we didn't have a double gutter. I thought we misread that hand there. Just a bit. Here we're gonna re-raise. Jack, Jack, 10, 10. Blind versus blind. Sounds very good to me. We don't have to fold. We never folding if he, comes over the top again, and we can win a big pot there. double checking, not misreading again, right? No, no, it's fine. I don't have a straight. C bet here always after 3 betting on this board. If he calls, we have to pray to the RNG gods to give us a nice turn. Yeah, this side is happy in all sorts of ways, for sure, yeah. And it's true. Also the splashes, which were good for. I don't know how much, because I would have to subtract the splashes I lost. And there was somewhere I was over 200 BB deep, 200, like 250. No, you didn't imagine that Hamsterman at all. This is a very loose side. And of course we had Derek. By the way, Frenchie, we had a couple of days ago, maybe you want to watch that, we played against the craziest player we've had yet in 180 hours on Run It Once. And battled over an hour, got very deep. He folded like 4 or 5, maybe 6 times before the flop in that time. And all the other hands he got in, he raised or re-raised, he never called. And it's of course not a great card. Yeah, I'm gonna continue betting just to deny him the bluffing opportunity. There's a blocker bet here. And long story short, we battled with him quite hard. Yeah, that river, huh? I'm gonna check. I think he's gonna check behind a decent amount of times. I think he has to flush a decent amount of times as well. And long story short, yeah, in the end we played for a 1,250 big blind pot with him. And should that be interesting to you, then check out the video that is, you've seen it earlier in chat by the time the delay comes around, but the Derek video. Like a 10-minute collection of all the hands we played with Derek, or we saw Derek play, that were just crazy. Okay, 2 more tables, a few more hands. Look for someone to host. Yeah, let's take Johnny for pleasure. So we have 2 more hands and they are playable. Okay, I think I'm c-betting this board quite a lot. So this one we check. I want to get raised off of our outs. Yeah, that was a sucky river random. Over the min bets, not really any. Yeah. Not really any spots. There was one spot yesterday at the beginning of the stream that got ruined by the dude, by a third dude. In any case, I'm gonna break. It has been a pure pleasure having all of you on the stream. It was a lot of fun, especially towards the end. And I will be back in roughly 1 hour and 15 minutes. And for now, this is Not Raisin signing off. Thanks for watching, guys.